Welcome, everyone, to Season 7, Episode 4 of the EUphoria podcast. I'm Dracos, joined, as always, by Carzzy. We're available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and SoundCloud. We've got so much for you this episode. It's going to be a great week, folks. It's not just the caffeine talking right now. We're amped. It's good vibes here on the desk. We've got a big burning bet coming up at the end of the show, a brand new duo Q quiz with Carzzy and Kaiser, all coming your way. But first, we're going to take a look back at Week 3. Carzzy, Week 3... good week for us, is what I'll say.
It was fun. The TriCast was so fun, especially.
Yeah.
But the week in general was a weird one. Like, it was like upsets.
Yeah.
There was teams coming back from having a negative win rate in the standings, and then there was teams who had internet problems. So it was a whole shebang. Yeah,
it was really crazy. If you guys didn't watch the G2 Fnatic game, I highly recommend it. Since the game has happened, there's some news about some G2 packet loss issues. Yeah, if you're watching this and you're not expecting spoilers from the previous week, now is the time to leave.
100%.
The first point at which you should have left was when you didn't want spoilers. That feels pretty obvious to me, but this is your final warning. So that match had a gigantic pause in it. So if you watched it live, you had to suffer through the pause, even though, admittedly, Vedius and Quickshot did a really good job of keeping it entertaining, as did me, you, and Ender.
I think the funniest part of the TriCast was the camera just came back to us like instantly. And we were like, I was in my shirt, you were in your shirt. And I didn't have the balls to put my jacket on while I was talking. And I looked over and saw you. And then as you were talking, you were just like, yeah, and we're getting into a pause. And I was like, I can't do that. I'm just going to sit here in my white shirt. I'm not doing that.
It was an awkward week with a couple pauses. So if you're catching up now, the good news is you can watch the game without the pause. You can just skip over that. But it was a wild game, and that was really cool. And to the week, and really leads me to a very exciting Week 4 where we get to watch Rogue versus G2, which is hopefully going to slap, or we'll find out. But on the positive side of things, before we even, like, the Rogues, the G2s, the Fnatics, people kind of expect us to talk about them. But one that people should get used to us talking about, even if I'm not always ready for it, is Schalke No Fear. They just keep winning, Carzzy. They just keep winning. They beat Rogue. They're on a tear. They're on a massive win streak.
Yeah, I think they're on a 4-game win streak now. Mm-hmm. Schalke 4-0 finally instead of Schalke 0-4. I mean, their games are convincing, you know. They're actually playing good. They're beating these teams. Although I think some of the drafts from the enemy teams were a bit questionable, especially G2 Rogue, both teams.
Yep.
I think that Schalke played really, really well against both of them. But my question is Schalke that one team? You know, there's always that one team in every sport where it's like they beat the top teams, but everyone else, they just fumble against. So although they're 4-0 and they have beaten G2 Rogue, if they can go 2-0 next weekend, then I'm 100% on the hype train. But right now, I've got my ticket. I'm not getting on the train just yet, but I've got my ticket.
You pre-ordered.
Yeah, I've already got it, man. It's in my pocket. I can feel it. But I don't know if I'm getting on the train just yet. But if they win next week, then, dude, I'm on that train. Because next week they have Astralis Mad.
Yeah.
So, this week they have Astralis Mad. I don't know why I say next week.
Yeah.
So if they beat Astralis single-handedly, then they beat Mad, then I'm on that hype train. That's an insane win streak, though.
I think that's really nuts. But to me, it's like, if this is Bitcoin's already rising at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, maybe we're going to look back on this and been like, we should have been hype on Schalke from Week 3, no questions asked.
The thing is, the Bitcoin has Elon Musk stonks just pounding into it. You know,
you could be the Elon Musk of Schalke No Fear, Carzzy. You could sell Schalke
I can
No
sell
Fear.
the tickets.
Sell it right now. If you want to make your spiel on why people need to buy and invest in Schalke right now.
Step right up, get your tickets.
You guys don't understand. Carzzy is staking all of his credibility and his business on whatever his business is, on backing Schalke No Fear right now.
Well, yeah, I guess if they go 6-0, then they got to be hyped about them, right? You know, they beat everyone in the league practically. You know, there's 9 teams that they have to beat. They've beaten 6 out of 9 of them. That's a nice number. But anyway, they would have been 6 out of 9 of them, and then, I mean, what's left really? Mad's taken down, G2's taken down, Rogue's taken down. Apart from the 2 losses at the start of the split, I think that,
which were really bad. Like, I remember looking back at Week 1 and being like, we rated Schalke way too highly. Schalke are bad. Schalke are right next to Astralis.
You saw the tier list, baby.
No, you were with me on the show where you were like, yeah, Schalke were bad.
No,
that never happened. Just watch episode 1 and then skip episode 2 of EUphoria. Don't go back. Don't look at the analysis post Week 1. Analysis is for nerds. This is about faith and believing in the hype.
Yeah, God Gilius. Worshipping his shrine.
This is our new faith. He is our new deity.
Giliusism?
Giliusism.
Is that the thing?
I don't know. Let us know your favorite names for the newfound Schalke religion that is based around Gilius. Is Gilius the prophet? Is Gilius
Yeah, I think you can organize it pretty nicely there because Broken Blade's like a huge carry now. He stepped up. Faker Dage.
Yes.
Faker's also like
the Apostles.
You have Faker. I remember the title of that article in season 3 was it Faker the Demon Slayer or something
the Demon Slayer.
And then you have
or is he he's the Demon King.
The Demon King, and then you have Faker Dage is like the opposite, and then I don't know, you can make a really cool arc out of that, I think. Especially if
it sounds like you're playing in the manga more than the religion.
Yeah, imagine Schalke won the split. Imagine the arc from like 0-7 in summer
versus Faker.
Faker Dage versus Faker, the ultimate showdown.
Oh man.
God Gilius.
That would be wild.
Dude.
Okay, all right.
Sign me up.
That's enough about
Let's
Schalke.
get MSI going right now.
One of Schalke's opponents, one of those teams drafting questionably and consistently drafting questionably is Rogue.
Yeah.
And I want to get your read on this because I think that as someone who watches a lot of League of Legends, I am probably a little too focused on the draft a lot of times because I think it's just the easiest way for me to identify like if a team has a plan and if they're sticking to a plan rather than looking at a lot of the micro in-game decisions. So I look at these drafts and I'm like, why are you doing this? This. So for context, they're drafting a lot of compositions with tons of damage threats, with no real tanky anything anywhere. And so to me, it looks very much like this glass cannon. If they win, if they get big leads, if they snowball, it looks like this easy game. It looks like an IG game. It looks like, a Danwon game where you're like, these guys are just like a cut above their opponent and there's nothing that they can do. But if you stall out, if you do anything wrong, it all falls apart. And we saw this in the loss to Schalke. And we also saw this in the Misfits game right up until VTO ran it down, that game was basically Misfits threw that game, right? They gave Rogue the chance to come back in. And credit to Ottawamne and Rogue for finding him on the sideline and finding that pick. But at the end of the day, if VTO doesn't stand there, that's probably a Misfits win.
Yeah, I think that Rogue's comps, if you look at Rogue's comps on paper, if you ran it through a perfect supercomputer, Rogue's comps, if played to perfection, they can't lose. I have to say, if they play this game 100% perfectly, winning lanes, winning jungle matchup, get ahead in CS, don't make mistakes, game's won. The problem is it doesn't account for variable change. Their comp doesn't really account for variable change in the way that if someone makes a mistake, someone gets caught, they fall behind in lane, they get cheese ganked, all these small different things that League of Legends has in it. Then when the game's even, you're actually a bit screwed because your comp has full single target damage, it has only side lane pressures, and it has no engage. Like you said, it has no frontline. So the comp itself is super, super hard to play, and I think that they need to just take a step back. Like, they don't have to draft these comps. Maybe they want to push themselves to become the best, and they think that, the first 2 weeks they were drafting team fights and globals and stuff, which are really not easier to execute, but they have a much more prevalence in the mid to late game, so you can actually start winning games and actually have some form of engage and these things or something to play for as a win condition. The problem is with their comp is if you're playing like Lucian, Xayah, Lilia and things like this, your whole comp single target damage and it relies on your lanes being really, really stable and you're winning them, and it all relies on perfection. So I think that it's unnecessary to draft these comps. I don't know if they want to push themselves or anything, but just draft teamfight comps and you'll win your lanes because you're really good players. And then when it gets to the dragon fights, you have the good comp to fight for them. So just feel like it's unnecessary, but if they want to practice it, then go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the general mindset that I have right now. Is it's like when it's spring split, when you're near the top of the standings or fighting or consistently sticking at the top of the standings as teams around you are all also dropping games, I think it's okay to push yourself and to try these things. And as long as you're still on top, that's at the end of the day the only thing that matters. And if Rogue were to come out and say like, yeah, guys, you're right, but screw you, we're on top, we're staying on top with these compositions, like, I don't care what you think, we're going to make this work. It's like, it's kind of hard for me to argue, right? And else I'm a really big believer in like every single best of one matters and you need to have this 18-0 split if you're really that good of a team, which I think is kind of a load of crap. Yeah. That said, I would like to see more different styles from Rogue, because I think we've seen a few games of this now. The Astralis game was another kind of indicator there where I feel like we cast that game. I feel like they got outdrafted. Yeah.
I think they're just out-drafting themselves, I feel like.
Yeah.
Even against like the Schalke game as well the day before and things like this.
And keep in mind, like getting outdrafted by the Skarner Thresh Caitlyn comp is not words I expected to come out of my mouth.
Yeah, they kind of almost lost the game, but Jessica just kind of mispositioned in the last fight. And I feel like they're just getting away with these comps when they should not be. And I don't want to discredit Rogue by saying, because for example, for me, it's like you scrim a lot. And when you lose in scrims or win in scrims, you attribute lots of it to draft. I think the majority of scrims is just drafting, seeing where your comfort picks are, how to draft the comps properly, and how lane matchups work and testing your limits. So it all comes down to the draft. Obviously, the game, the way it pans out is based on how you play it, but it all comes down to the draft. So when you finish scrims, the first thing you talk about is, was the draft good? Did we like it? Did we not like it? Would you want to try it again? So obviously if they're pulling us over the last 2 weeks, this Lucian comp, Saya comps, AP jungles, these kind of things with no engage, Jace, all these things, then it's been working for them in scrims. The problem is when it comes to stage, these kind of champs like Jace or Lucian, you win your lane so hard to the point that the enemy can never contest you on the objectives.
Yeah.
But when it comes to competitive games, people are just way too scared. The thing is, Lucian wants to dash in and get in your face and get CS leads. But if the enemy mid's just hugging his tower and you can't win the trades, and he just keeps TPing back to lane and clearing waves, by the time it gets to 20 minutes, the Lucian's 0-0, 10 CS up, and you're like, yeah, we didn't snowball hard enough.
Oh, wait, that guy has CC? Wow, that's OP. No matter how much of a gold lead I have, I can't buy CC. That seems pretty
And the worst
strong.
part was, in the Astralis game, Lucian dot was 0-2-0, and the enemy team had a Syndra who was super fed. So I feel like Astralis, if they played 1% better, they would have won that game.
So the other things I want to cover really quickly, if you guys missed it, G2 basically came out after the Fnatic game and were like, hey, we had big packet loss issues, which generally, like, G2 are the Hakuna Matata team, so when they give a legitimate excuse, I'm inclined to believe them. And, you know, from talking to those players personally, I know that they've been very fortunate that they have not had these issues during scrim time, but have had them a lot in the evening when they were playing that game. So hopefully for that team, it works out. Obviously sucks for Fnatic and G2 to have such a banging game and then to potentially have this issue that kind of discredits some of the achievement for Fnatic and, you know, takes away from what should be a really big deal for Fnatic when they win in that game. The last thing, really quick, I would love to get your thoughts on NukeDuck taking time away, you know, taking some personal time. And now we've got MagiFelix coming in. MagiFelix, solo queue legend, never gives up, never surrenders. I want to know, does this revitalize Astralis? Does this bring us new hope for Astralis? They did, if it wasn't for the mispositioning issue, you talked about it, they could have beat Rogue. They could have done it.
I think a lot was on NukeDuck that game. So I'm not sure I won't talk about NukeDuck too much because I don't know why he's taking a break. I mean, he's been playing for so long. It could be burnout, it could be stress, all these things. So very, very sort of fragile situation there, but I hope he recovers and gets well soon because he was a huge, huge factor in the league for the last God knows how long. So mad props to him, regardless of decision. But MagiFelix has been a bit under the weather. I feel like he had so much hype because the last 2 years he's had like 5 ranked top 10 accounts on 5 different roles. Like, this guy can play every role. And then he kind of had this big notation around him where he just chokes under pressure, doesn't play well on stage. He had a really good stint with Fnatic Academy. He was doing really well there. But over the last year or so, the hype's kind of settled down a little bit because from what I've heard, he was considering going into coaching, mid lane coaching, all these things. But he did go to Worlds with Fnatic, I believe, as their 6th man. And that's why Fnatic Rising, the Academy team, actually struggled in EU Masters because they had a substitute Chibs. MagiFelix couldn't play. So we didn't actually see MagiFelix in EU Masters. And I think that's where the proving ground is, because the NLC is one thing. There's only 1 or 2 good teams there that could actually push MagiFelix. So over the last year, we haven't really seen the results to determine whether he's still as good as he once was in solo queue or as good as he once was hyped to be. So I think there's even more question marks on MagiFelix for me than there was previously in previous years. But I think this is the first starting position he's ever had on an LEC team. So hopefully he does well. The problem that I have is when you take overly hyped rookies, like let's say Leader or MagiFelix, and you put them on a team that's losing, it's hard for people to even sometimes brings up more question marks because you're looking at them like, well, are they playing good? Maybe they are, but is their team inting them? Like, it's so hard to get a rookie and put him on a losing team and say if they're going to perform well or not. And will he change the whole team dynamic? Probably not. Will they win more games and become a super team? No. Will he try to prove himself and try to play selfish? I hope so, because Astralis, I don't know if it's mid lane that's the missing piece for them.
Yeah. I think definitely a fair thing to say, and we'll keep our eyes on MagiFelix. Congratulations to him, obviously, for being able to play LEC main stage. I know he's been close a few times, and
it's deserved.
Huge opportunity. And of course, for NukeDuck, hope he gets the time that he needs away, and hope that he can come back as soon as he wants to or as soon as he is able. We'll see how he stacks up against Faker, Dogge, and VTO this weekend, but we'll talk more about week 4 after our next segment. First up, it's time for us to go through another episode of Duo Q, this time with Carzzy and Kaiser.
Oh, what about us? What about us, Dracos?
Oh my God, we'll get our chance.
Okay.
It's now time for my favorite time of the week, which is Duo Q with Carzzy and Kaiser. We're going to be going through a quiz for each of these guys that has all these questions lined up that they have answered. We're going to be finding out how they think their lane partner answered to find out how much synergy there actually is in this bot lane, Caedrel. That said, it's time to welcome our guests. Welcome, Carzzy and Kaiser. So good to have you on the show. Thank you, one, for waking up this early in the morning. But in general, are you guys ready? Do you guys think that you have strong synergy as a duo? Kaiser, let's start with you.
Well, I mean, it depends on the day, probably. I think it really depends on the mood and stuff. Like sometimes we have like the synergy, like we know each other so well that like if I don't even have to say like I flash in now. We are on the same page, you know. And sometimes we're like, I don't know, like I hooked them out of like Kaiser W. I like miss a spell and Carzzy is like really tilted and stuff like this, you know. Like it really depends on the day.
Yeah, we've seen some crazy bot 2v2 kills from you guys and some counter kills as well over the last few weeks.
Carzzy,
What can I say? What can I say? Kaiser perfectly explained it. I have nothing to say. This was just perfect.
That's fine. I like it. It's a bit of a flip some days. I respect it. So before we get started, I would love if you guys could introduce each other to the audience. Give people the TLDR. Like, what do people need to know about your lane partner? What makes him cool? What makes him good at League of Legends? What do you like about him? So Carzzy, why don't you introduce Kaiser for us? Tell us all about this man.
Okay. So Kaiser is a wise human being that loves sweets, is very wise, and he's really tall. And also he's a good friend, and that's very important.
There you go.
Lovely.
Good friend, wise, very tall. Kaiser, what can you say about
Perfect
Carzzy?
description. And he's just crazy. That's all you need to know.
It's in the name.
It is in the name, isn't it?
No, is it?
I don't know if you guys know this, but if you rearrange Carzzy, you can spell crazy and have an extra Z left over.
Bruh.
So again, for anyone at home, if you're confused as to how this works, this is very simple. It's the marriage quiz game. We gave both of them quizzes. They each answered. From those answers, we made new quizzes where oh God, it's hard to explain. Carzzy is now going to answer a quiz of questions based on what Kaiser answered, and we'll see how well they know each other, how well they understand what they're going to predict. But for this first round, we're going to try to go fast. Mm-hmm. So I have questions for Carzzy. Kadril has questions for Kaiser, and I'm going to mess that up at least once today. The fact that both of your names start with that same sound is going to be difficult for me. And we're gonna get into it. So I'll kick off, and then you go, Kadril, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so first question for Carzzy. Would Kaiser rather win the LEC or win the lottery?
Win the lottery.
No, he'd rather win the LEC.
Oh.
Same question for Kaiser.
I'm surprised.
Would Carzzy rather win the LEC or win the lottery?
I think the lottery.
Wrong answer. Win the
You
LEC.
both win the LEC.
I think there must be a mistake in the production because I think Carzzy had it right. I think I answered the lottery actually.
Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute.
So maybe I did it wrong on the sheet. You know, like,
okay. All right. All I'm gonna say is on
Carzzy knows me really well.
Okay, wait. Phil, I'm getting a look from my producer. Cut this part out, Phil. We're gonna double check and make sure I didn't, because if this one's I up everything, so that's not a good look. Hold on. We're checking. I gotta double check your answers. All right, we're checking Kaiser first. Kaiser answered.
Yeah, one was win the lottery.
Oh shit! I suck.
So I think Carzzy got it right.
Carzzy got it right.
Okay.
Wait.
Oh no.
Yeah, but Carzzy, you wrote win the LEC, right?
Yeah.
All right, maybe you can leave that part in. I don't know. You'll figure it out, Phil. All right. Okay. We're going to hope that that's the only hiccup on this otherwise very long quiz, because if I typed these in wrong, then I'm just going to be sitting here telling you incorrect information all day. All right. Carzzy, would Kaiser rather find love or find a good duo bot?
Find a good duo bot.
Find love? Kaiser, yes?
Yeah.
That's what you wrote? I'm double checking?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
okay,
All right,
okay,
yeah.
okay,
Sorry,
okay.
buddy. Not everybody
actually-
only has their mind on the game, you know?
Actually, it makes sense because you already found a good duo, right?
Dude, that was exactly my reasoning actually, you know, like I always have Carzzy.
That makes sense. So Kaiser, the same question for you. Did Carzzy want to find love or find a good duo bot?
I think find love.
No, he actually
you
answered
find
find a
a
good
good
duo
duo
bot.
Okay, so you're but you're lying, dude. Like, oh my goodness. Is your GF more important? Actually, is me More important than UGF. Like that's what you're like.
It's-
telling
Maybe
me
he's
now.
already found one.
It's actually so funny because Carzzy
No.
is someone with a girlfriend and a duo bot partner. He gets screwed no matter what he answers. Because if he asks to find love and his girlfriend
Oh my
watches this
goodness.
segment, he's getting roasted. There's no chance. He's getting torn down. So he's just more scared of his girlfriend than he is of you, Kaiser. That's all this means.
Exactly.
That might be
I
true,
already
yeah.
found the love, so I need to find a good duo now.
Oh my,
Oh my
goodness.
god,
dude.
destroyed.
That was a roast.
All right, next question for you, Carzzy. Would Kaiser rather have perfect mechanics but be dumb as hell, or have insane game knowledge, perfect game knowledge but have zero mechanics?
Insane game knowledge.
Perfect mechanics.
So Kaiser, same question to you. Would Carzzy rather have perfect mechanics, but he has no game knowledge, or insane game knowledge and he has absolutely zero mechanics?
Well, he already has like one of the two. Perfect mechanics, I would say.
He chose perfect game knowledge.
Whoa.
There it is.
Hold up.
He would give up all of his mechanics, his ability to Tristana rocket jump in or Callista rend at the perfect time, just to be really smart.
Yeah.
Which I respect.
Yeah, I respect
As someone
that.
who will never have good hands in League of Legends, like that's the only thing I can aspire to anyway. So I respect that ambition. All right. Pizza. This is for Carzzy. Would Kaiser like it? Does he think pineapple on pizza? Is that a yes or a no for Kaiser?
No.
That is correct. No pineapple on pizza.
Good choice. And Kaiser, same question for Carzzy. Did you choose pineapple with or without pizza? Without pineapple.
Pineapple with or without pizza. When you eat your pineapple, do you want some pizza with that?
Pizza with or without pineapple?
I think without.
Yeah, that's correct. No pineapple on pizza.
That's good. Good lads. Good lads. Vedius, this is how life should be. This is what normal people respond.
Man
It-
of culture.
And okay, this one's a little bit harder because it's not a pick one. It's technically there's like 5 options. Carzzy, in a zombie apocalypse, Kaiser thinks this mad player will die first. Who is it?
Armut.
Yes.
Okay. Kaiser, same question to you. Who do you think Carzzy thinks would die first in a zombie apocalypse?
Probably Armut as well.
Yeah.
Why, guys? Why? Why are you both on the same page here? Why is it such an easy choice? What did he do that makes you think that he's just gonna like get eaten by zombies? Like, are you guys throwing him to the zombies, or is there something that he will do that actually hastens his own death?
I mean, he has
mean-
to sacrifice himself as the captain of the team, right?
Yeah, like
True.
actually my reasoning was like that Armut is like the likeliest of us to help another person, and that makes him like
Makes him weak.
like easier target.
Yes,
you know?
I understand.
Exactly.
Compassion is a weakness in the world of the zombie.
Yeah, and as this segment goes on with more duo queues, first we have Caps and Armut now as the first to die. We can make a team of the first to die of the zombie
we can make
apocalypse.
we can make the worst survival team in the LEC, put them together to do some basic, like put them in an escape room and see how bad it is. All right. Last question in this section for you, Carzzy. Kaiser, does he think 80 carries complain too much, or does he think that 80 carries are right to complain about their role? Basically, 80 carries. Are they whiny
they
babies?
complain too much. They complain too much.
You know what? You're completely right. He does think that you guys complain too much.
Yeah.
Slightly different question for Kaiser.
course.
Would Carzzy rather you only play Janna Lulu every game or Blitzcrank Pike every game?
Blitzcrank Pike, bro.
No, Janna Lulu.
It's
He
Gianna
wants the
Lulu,
shields.
bro. What?
He wants the shields.
What do you mean? Like,
He's like,
like
first,
when I
he's,
see
first he's like,
when this guy is playing solo key, he's always like, I'm getting another enchanter bot lane. I hate myself. You know, like I need to play with engaged supports. And then he answers this. Come on.
Yes, but Pike and Blitzcrank are completely useless. I'd rather play
That's true. That's true.
I just tried to think about the most selfish supports in the game. But I like that we've learned today that Carzzy needs still to find a good duo bot, and that as long as he's stuck with Kaiser, you know, as long as you're stuck together, he'd rather that you play Lulu, Janna. All right, that does it for questions. Did you mark how many they
Yeah.
got right? How many did Kaiser get right?
So you got 2 right.
Carzzy got 4.
So 2 out of 6.
Wait, but he got the pizza one right? He got
You got the pizza one and the Armut right.
Oh.
The rest were a bit off.
Yeah, to be fair, though, the find love or find a good duo bot was a big betrayal of trust. I can totally understand why he would answer that one. Okay, round 2. These guys are going to be multiple choice. If you need me to repeat the options, let me know. And again, a lot of these questions are shared. Carzzy, if Kaiser could delete one champion in League of Legends, who would it be? Would it be A, Morgana, B, Samira, C, Ezreal, or D, Karma?
Actually, this is really hard. I'd say it's Morgana.
You would be right. Morgana is the
that's
answer.
impressive.
That's good. That's hard, bro. Like, I don't know if you guys talk about this stuff that much. This is one of those ones where I don't think you know unless it comes up specifically. Kaiser, why would you delete Morgana? Like, what is it about Morgana?
It's just a really annoying champion because, like, it's so boring to lane against. I mean, like, usually it counters tank supports, right? Like, for example, if you play, like, Nautilus, Leona, and stuff like this, you kind of hate your life early game. Or, like, I mean, not that much, but, like, you can still play the game, right? If you flash on the AD carry or whatever, or, like, on the support if they actually hit the wrong target. But it's just really annoying to deal with. Because,
it must feel good to 2v2 kill a Morgana, though. Like, they pick Morgana and then you kill her in lane. It must feel like, okay, just stop picking this champ.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, I'm lucky that it's like really weak right now, so
yeah, it is pretty weak.
Honestly, screw Black Shield. What a stupid ability. It's like so anti-fun, it's ridiculous. Like people complain about Tom Kench W, but at least I feel like I could, like, that champion's a melee. I can interact into that.
Yeah, it's laneable. So Kaiser, we asked Carzzy if he could delete one champion from League of Legends. Would it be A, Draven, B, Udyr, C, Lulu, or D, Karma?
I mean, I thought Draven was like one of his favorites, so I wouldn't say that. I mean, Udyr is a kind of flavor of the month.
Yeah.
Could be Udyr. I mean, Karma and the last choice was what again?
Lulu.
I would say Udyr.
Udyr, is that final answer?
Yeah, I guess so.
He chose Lulu. He wants to delete Lulu from the game, which is ironic because he wants you only to play Janna or Lulu in the last segment.
Which means he wants you only to play
like,
Janna. In a perfect world, you
yeah,
only
like,
play Janna. That's what we've learned. Because Lulu will be deleted from the game.
That kind of tripped me off, like. Oh well.
Carzzy, I'm guessing why do you hate Lulu so much? Is it solo lane Lulu? Is it support Lulu? Is this you getting griefed in solo queue by your supports? What is this?
It just feels like it's too obnoxious online if you're not playing with a good player, Like, Lulu deals so much damage and it's so annoying. I hate to play against it.
I think it sounds like range supports in general you're not a big fan of, unless Kaiser's just playing them.
He hates playing against the range supports and hates having them on his team in solo queue.
Ugh.
Carzzy.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair. Honestly, screw range supports. You have said some less than savory things about range supports on your stream there, Kadril.
Yeah,
I've seen those moments.
I hate range supports.
Carzzy, I asked Kaiser to describe your personality with a single word. Did he describe you as A, obnoxious, B, random, C, funny, or D, ignoring the rules, out of control?
Random.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. He described you as random. I thought for sure we'd bait you with obnoxious or out of control, but no, you got it. You're really smurfing.
Okay, similar question for Kaiser. We asked Carzzy to describe you in one word. Is it A, boring, B, big brain, C, wise, or D, German?
Oh my goodness, that's hard actually. Like he said wise before, but I'm not sure if you're trying to bait me
Could be a mind game.
Yeah.
You guys are a team, for the record. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Like, you guys, at the end of the day, your total score is added up and compared to Mickey's score, which was 76%, because there's a different number of questions for this one. So you're on a team. That's the last hint I can give.
Do you want me to repeat the answers?
Oh, it's fine.
Okay.
I think I'll just choose wise.
Wise?
Because you said it before.
That is the correct answer.
Which, by the way, Carzzy, very clever.
Very
I saw that. You said wise like 8 times, and he's very wise and something else, and wise and something else, and also wise.
Good subliminal messages.
It was not very subliminal. It was pretty blatant, but I respect it. You do what you got to do to win the game. You take your chances. Carzzy, who does Kaiser think is the best player on the Mad roster? Is it himself, Kaiser? Is it you, Carzzy? Is it Humanoid, or is it Armut?
Humanoid?
No, he thinks it's himself. He thinks it's Kaiser. Shout out to you, Kaiser. You picked yourself.
I mean, I knew that if I was gonna say anyone else, their ego would just like,
I
So
Exactly.
you picked yourself because your ego's already big. I see.
Good choice.
I can handle it,
Well, the same question for you, Kaiser. Who does Carzzy think is the best Mad Lions player? Is it you, Kaiser? Is it himself, Carzzy, Humanoid, or Elyoya?
I think it's him. I don't know. Maybe Merrick, Humanoid.
You're gonna go with Humanoid?
Yeah.
He chose himself.
You guys both thought that the other one picked Merrick,
but I
and you
slew
both
it.
picked yourselves.
You both picked yourself. Yeah. That's Merrick must be pretty good.
Merrick must be feeling good. You both, except neither of you actually picked him. You both just expected the other person to pick him.
Yeah.
I think is good. I think that's positive, like not the wrong guess, but the fact that you both picked yourselves is, I would hope, maybe positive for lane synergy. You guys have both got that ego going, ego synergy. Next,
Ego synergy.
maybe. I don't know if that's a thing. All right, Carzzy, what champion does Kaiser secretly want to play on stage? Is it A, Janna, B, Pantheon with Fasting Senna, C, Nami, or D, Brand?
Okay, so this is really easy. Nami.
It is Nami. How did you know? Why was it so easy?
Because he's crying about Nami all the time.
Wants to get buffed.
That's so okay. Just to be fair, though, right? Like again, let's circle back to the original question here. Kaiser, you drew a lot of issue with being jailed to Lulu Janna duty, but how different is Nami, my dude? Like,
I mean, actually, I don't mind playing range supports. It's just Carzzy doesn't want to play with them, so I can't play them, And like Nami is like really fun, so I like playing her. So yeah.
It's just not good, my
One
man.
day.
It's just not
One
good,
day.
my man. I like that.
I really like the W. It's nice to auto win lane for the first
Couple levels.
couple levels. That feels good.
Yeah.
The E synergy feels nice, even though I don't really know if it does anything. It does feel nice.
Yeah. So, Kaiser, same thing for Carzzy. What does he secretly want to play on stage? Is it A, Wukong, B, Aphelios, C, Twitch, or D, Thresh?
Fresh,
Yep.
I think.
Oh, how did you get that one so
How'd
quickly?
What? You got?
I mean, because he always boasts about being the best support in the world, and like his threat is out of this world, But I've seen it, and I want to see it again.
You don't want to
So,
see it again? Oh no.
Nope.
So
Disaster.
toxic, dude. But my trash might be better than yours.
Oh yeah.
I have to have a Thresh from them. A
All
Thresh
right.
off.
Yeah, tell Mad Lions that's free content. The Thresh 1v1 definitely something we need to see. And if you guys are ever elo held enough to duo queue again, we need some Nami in the duo queue, most certainly.
Nami Thresh.
Nami Thresh. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, never
Sounds
mind.
like a really good lane.
Yeah, sounds like you drop a little bit more before the video content is done. You do what you have to do for the content, boys. All right, next question for Carzzy. Kaiser, if he could have one ability from League of Legends in real life, what is it? Is it A, Kassadin Ultimate, B, Viego Passive, C, Kale Ultimate, or D, Tom Kench W?
Can you repeat it, please?
Yeah, for sure. So
Thank you.
Kassadin Ultimate, the Rift Walk. Viego Passive, the like steal a body for a little while thing. Kale Ultimate, the invulnerability. Tom Kench W, the Devour, the ability to eat friends or foes.
Not completely, just for a few seconds.
Just for a few seconds though, you have to spit him back out. I don't think he can swallow. I think that's against the rules.
Kassadin ult?
Yeah, you're right. What?
What?
Wow.
You're on it.
All right, but like just I'm double checking here, mostly for my own. You guys didn't share ahead of time, right? You guys
No,
like,
we didn't.
Oh my
Carzzy's
God.
smurfing.
Do you think
You guys have way better synergy than Reckless Mickey, or at least that's what it's looking like. We'll total the scores at the end. Here,
So,
but-
similar question for Kaiser. Would Carzzy rather have A, Kalista ult, B, Gnar passive, C, Gragas W, or D, Telly ultimate?
I'm surprised that there's no TFR actually. I thought many people would pick that, but or like Carzzy would pick that, but I mean, if I would guess, it's probably Gragas W.
Yeah, that's correct. That's such a good answer. I love that answer.
What? Okay, Carzzy, before we go any further in the show, do you have a problem, dude? Like, I'm sorry. Like, you can pick. We've had people pick now. I think Kassadin are very reasonable. It's a blink. That's pretty cool. That's like some Dishonored
Echo
stuff.
Ultimate.
Echo Ultimate was good. Zillion Ultimate, I believe, is what Reckless picked. You picked You just drank. That's that the ability is you drink.
But he heals himself.
Like you can do that.
That's
You don't
passive.
need to be in League of Legends to do that, bro. You can drink probably now. I wouldn't, recommend it in the middle of Corona, but I'm just kidding. Like, what? Give me the thought process to why Gragas W.
Okay. I don't drink alcohol usually, so I don't know. I just found like Gragas W is so much fun, Like it's unlimited.
That's true.
It's a barrel.
It's a
Nothing
barrel.
can stop you.
Yeah. You get damage
So
reduction.
he usually doesn't drink, but he wants unlimited drinks. Okay, so something doesn't add up, I think.
I think Carzzy would win every bar fight with that spell
That's true.
because he can
But
hit them on the head with
it
it.
doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be an alcoholic beverage. Imagine it's like cola.
That would be true, except for in Gragas' lore, it's very deliberate about calling out the fact that his only personality trait is that he's drunk and large. It's great lore, by the way. I highly recommend reading it. Probably needs to be updated. I think it's probably just been left alone because no one knows how to approach that character development. But
Moving on.
I like it. All right. I think this one's going to be hard. I'll be honest. Carzzy, in the Lord of the Rings universe, which character does Kaiser think you would be? A, Golem, because you're a troll. B, Legolas, maybe because marksman. It's a verbatim quote of what was written. C, Gimli, because he's tiny. Or D, leader of the Rohan, who are the horse people, because he's always sprinting it.
That's a hard question.
Legolas?
He did. He did say
What? He
Legolas.
actually got
Okay,
it.
and here's the thing. Before you answer this, what's crazy is I gave them the option to pick an Avengers character or the Lord of the Rings character because I thought between those two universes that like people would have seen it. But Kaiser hasn't seen either. Kaiser, what media are you consuming that you have not watched either Lord of the Rings or the Avengers? Like, I think one or the other is acceptable. You could tell me you're not into fantasy stuff, whatever. You could tell me you're not into superheroes, whatever. But you have to like one. You literally play a fantasy game for a living. What happened here? Have you not seen these?
I just never watch movies, so like I never got like to see it, I guess. To like see
I'm
either.
disappointed
But,
now.
This is your job, Carzzy. If there's one thing that you can do for me, it's have Kaiser watch the entire trilogy. And if you want to fast forward through the bits where they just walk and complain, I understand. It's harder to rewatch that series, but you got to watch it at some point.
You definitely have to. So Kaiser, what is Carzzy's hidden talent? What did he choose here? He secretly has been learning Japanese for the last 3 years. He makes incredible cocktails and could be a bartender. He's really handsome. He's really good at annoying other people. What's his hidden talent?
It's probably his annoying, like him being annoying, to be honest.
That is correct. Yeah, it is.
that's
He's
correct.
good at annoying other people. That's what he
I didn't
chose.
know that you didn't drink. I kind of low-key thought that you might be a little bit of an alcoholic when you told me the Gragas W was what you wanted. So when I was writing in like fake things to fill in the multiple choice, I like really hoped that you like loved alcohol or like drank so that maybe the bartender would be believable. Yeah, and the learned Japanese for 3 years so you could understand anime better was a bit of a long shot. But
That was a long shot.
Yeah.
That was a good one. though.
Good shot though. Good shot though. All right. Last question for this section. This is a big one. Carzzy, in a fist fight to the death, who does Kaiser think will come out on top? No staff, just teams. Schalke No Fear, Vitality, Fnatic, or Mad Lions?
Madlands.
That's correct.
Oh man, he's smashing it.
He is absolutely smashed. He's unchained.
Is that a 5v5 boxing match or something?
Yeah, for a man who started off very weak in the synergy department by picking find a good duo bot, you have answered a lot of these questions correctly. You are on a roll. All right.
So the question I have here for Kaiser is, if Carzzy could go pro in another esports, which would he choose? Would he choose Valorant, Fortnite, Minecraft, or Dota 2?
I've actually never seen him play any of those games, so it's actually quite a hard question. Is there even a pro scene in Minecraft, actually? I'm not even
I
sure.
have no
I guess
idea.
there must be.
Maybe.
I guess speedrunning.
Speedrunning?
Yeah, that's a pro scene.
I mean, I would say just Dota probably, because it's the closest to League, but yeah.
He chose Minecraft.
He chose, quote, Minecraft esports, which I'm pretty sure isn't a thing at all, but I respect that you put it down. Not very helpful to your teammate there. But on this subject, I would love to know, because you both, in the fist fight to the death question, I forgot we didn't have this one. You guys both put Mad Lions, and I think Carzzy, you put because we're trained by a literal Viking. Like, are you guys getting like martial arts training? Obviously not for the fist fight to the death, but in general, like what is happening in your behind the scenes, like with it's Jake, right? I don't know what his title is, but he seems like your general health / apparently martial arts instructor. Like, what is going on that you guys are so confident that it's like when it comes to Hunger Games, Mad Lions comes out on top?
I mean, I don't think it's about us being strong. I think it's just the other teams, they are weak.
Oh, shots fired.
Oh, man.
Okay.
I don't know if they'll let us do like physical combat sport content, but maybe that's the future of the LEC. And in the same vein, on the other side, for the esports question, Kaiser, we didn't have this question for Carzzy as one of the official questions, but I know you answered Dota 2. When you were coming into League of Legends, like were you a Dota kid and then a League of Legends guy, or are you just like MOBAs are where I want to be, MOBAs are what I want to play?
I mean, I think like League of Legends was even like my first kind of competitive game, so I never really played that much Dota. I just found like I just read up a bit about it, like followed the pro scene a bit, because I found it like kind of interesting, like how they view the champions, the items, because it's like way different of a balancing philosophy, I guess, because everything is kind of broken, so
True.
that makes it balanced, I would say. And yeah, I just found it kind of interesting, and if I would go pro, I would probably choose a game I'm already like kind of decent at, you know, and Dota is like pretty similar, so
yeah, I think Dota's pretty sick. The Invitational. Have you seen the videos, the movies, the after movies of like all these teams fighting each other? It's so sick.
Yeah, the True Sight, I think, was really, really cool. And shout out to the team who put that together. Yeah, Dota is very different, and I think I respect like being willing to like pivot into a different MOBA. I think that's a cool option. And Carzzy, let me tell you, bro, if you ever play Minecraft competitively, I don't know what that means, but if you ever play Minecraft competitively, let me know. I will gladly cast it free of charge, because that has to slap. It'll either be legitimately good or it'll be good for the memes, but like one way or the other, that will be good content.
Yeah, I think so too. Just have like loads of League pros on the same server. First one to like kill the Ender Dragon or get to the Nether or something. That'll be sick.
And Minecraft PvP is quite about skills, so...
Wait, do you actually know about Minecraft PvP?
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Minecraft PvP. When I wasn't in LEC, so whenever I was scrimming or something, I would just play Minecraft PvP in the meantime.
I thought the answer was totally a meme.
There's so many cool things in it, like Minecraft PvP. You can do like things like bed wars and stuff. It's so crazy.
Okay. All right. We're going to have to do a separate episode on Minecraft PvP, because that doesn't make any damn sense to me. I feel like the old person in the room being like, how is that possibly a sport? You know what I mean? When people talk about League of Legends. But
it's actually hard. The 1v1s are difficult.
I believe it. It's hard
There's
to hit
mechanics.
things. Okay. I'll take your word for it. I'm tallying up my score. And right now, Carzzy, you have 10 out of 13. Yeah, you have 10 out of 13. And there's 2 more questions. So right now you're 10 out of 15.
Wait, you had 13 questions?
You have 13 questions also. It's just the numbers are screwed up on yours because of formatting in Google Docs.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah? Did I add an extra one on accident? No,
Okay.
because I copy-pasted.
Yeah,
No,
I have 13 questions. Yeah,
You have 13. How's the...
6 out of 13.
Okay, 6. Not, a little less good on the Kaiser side, but we're gonna bring it home here. These last 2 ones I think are actually, one of them is deceptively hard and the other one is very easy. So we'll start with the easy one. The last question here, Kajal. So for Carzzy, what league would Kaiser rather play in, the LPL or the LCK?
LCK.
Now, he said the LPL. Wow, I'm caught off guard that you weren't...
Oh.
He wants to fight, man.
He wants to fight.
He wants to get in there.
Kajal, do yours.
Okay,
we'll
so
talk about it.
Kaiser, which team do you think Carzzy thinks is their biggest opponent? Is it other than Rogue or G2? So you can't choose Rogue or G2. Who do you think is their biggest opponent?
I'd say probably Fnatic then.
Fnatic? He said, Carzzy said no one. No one's their biggest opponent.
How could I have not guessed that?
I mean, to be fair, that's like the second complete red herring answer that Carzzy is giving you. So I think we could like maybe give you 2 bonus points.
Yeah, actually. I like that.
Carzzy, same question to you. Which team does Kaiser think is your biggest opponent not named Rogue or G2?
Okay. So he already said Fnatic and he was like, no one. So I go with no one.
No, he wrote Fnatic, dude. That's not how that logic train works.
I'm answering the question.
He's answering. Yeah, he said Fnatic. He put what he thought you would say, which is Fnatic.
That's pretty funny.
You just big brained yourself in a circle there, dude.
Okay, and I have one last question, which I think Dracos asked Carzzy earlier on. So Kaiser, would Carzzy rather play in the LPL or the LCK?
I mean, I would say probably LPL as well.
That is correct, my man. That is correct.
I was so nervous you were going to psych yourself out there and just absolutely bomb it because you were convinced that like, oh, he said LCK, so I should say LCK.
Both of them want to play in the LPL.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool. Let's talk about that. So why the LPL and not the LCK for both of you guys? Because like I think when people look at the LPL, it's mostly the thing that they think about is aggression. Do you guys just want to fight in 2v2 lanes all the time? Like what is it about the LPL that you guys think is so interesting?
It just looks so much fun, and I also think that LPL is a lot bigger than LCK.
True. What about you, Kaiser? What's the main reasons behind the LPL?
I mean, I think most of the LPL bot lanes are like more of complete duo, I guess. Like I think in LCK there's like maybe 2 like really good bot lanes, and then the rest is like, I mean, there are like a lot of actually good bot lanes in LCK as well, but I think LPL bot lanes usually are like the stronger performers, I guess. So I would like playing against them.
Do you think that you'd still want to play there if the jungle meta was different to the point where it was like level 2 gankers, Jarvan, Xin Zhao, Lee Sin? Would you still want to play bot lane in the LPL? Because I think level 2 ganks are coming in.
That's true, but I think that's like more fun than just like waiting until like I don't know until your jungler has power farm for like 20 minutes and then like he's strong, you know. Like I think that's kind of boring. So
yeah, you ask your jungler, can you gank bot? No, I'm scaling. That'll kind of suck.
Yeah, junglers are the new 80 carries where you just like pop, instead of popping them on a side lane, they just sit in their jungle for the entire game and chill.
Yeah, jungle nerfs are coming.
Jungle nerfs are coming. Bless up to Papa Mark. You guys also both called out very quickly that jungle was by far the most OP role in the game, which I loved. Now we look at the scores here. I thought you guys were doing well, but 11 out of 15 on my side and
7 out of 15.
So that's 18 out of 30. So you guys are just a little bit below Reckless and Mickey X, but I can't remember how hard the questions we had for Mickey X were. And we asked you more questions. So maybe if we were to run it back, it would be different. But for now, you guys are number 2 on the leaderboard for botlane synergy.
But it's positive. It's above 50%.
Yeah.
So you got that going.
Okay, so there's one thing that many of our viewers love and some of our viewers hate, and I want it to be the final thing that we talk about here. And I'm going to give a pre-warning. If you don't like anime, the next 2 to 5 minutes is about anime, so you may leave the podcast. Not you guys. You guys have to stay, or skip ahead. Yeah, skip ahead. Guys, I asked you what series, movie, film, whatever, if you could watch for over and over again, what it would be. Kaiser, you said Demon Slayer, great choice, recent anime. Carzzy, you said Naruto, also an absolute banger. So the next 3 minutes is 5 minutes, whatever, is anime time. We got to talk. Like, what are you guys watching? How long have you watched anime? Kaiser, you say you don't watch series, but do you watch anime? Like, talk to me. How big on the weeb scale are we, boys? Are you like learning Japanese to read manga? Or do you have a waifu? Do you have a Crunchyroll subscription? Where are we at? Do you just like watching anime? I need more info here. The fans need to know.
Okay, so for me, I had Crunchyroll.
Hell yeah. Let's start.
Subscription. I'm watching anime basically daily. Every single day I watch something. I'm waiting for... I actually saw so much, I don't even remember all the names. But my most favorite anime is Naruto, and then it's most likely Re:Zero.
Re:Zero is good.
Starting. Yeah.
Have not watched. If you spoil the new season for me right now, I'll be very upset. I have not watched, not caught up.
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, all right, no spoilers. Kaiser, I could guess that Carzzy was kind of a low-key weeb, but you were a hard guy to get a read on. Like, you could have been like books and fine wine. You could have been like action movies. You could be pop music. You could be anime. Like, I couldn't tell at all what you like. But Demon Slayer is a good choice. I think people love it. Great animation, great storytelling as far as anime goes. What else are you watching?
I mean, right now there's Promised Neverland, I guess, which has like a season 2, which I really liked. I mean, I'm watching Naruto right now as well because Carzzy, he got me into it. So I just have to rewatch that for childhood memories. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of basically it right now.
That's fair. Naruto, the best part is I never watched Naruto as a kid because I just didn't have consistent access to it. And I wasn't smart enough to just Google like the pirated versions or whatever. But I rewatched it all when I was like early 20s after Shippuden was like just finished wrapping up. And it's so good when you can skip all the filler episodes. You can just skip like 60% of the episodes because there's nothing in them and just get to the good stuff.
I think I'm the only one here that hasn't actually watched Naruto. My favorite animes are like Owari no Seraph and the Kami ga Kill. I really like those ones. And I don't know if Dragon Ball Z counts, but that was my thing. I think everyone,
that's like the gateway anime.
Yeah, everyone in their childhood always has one series, whether it's One Piece, Naruto, or Dragon Ball, I think.
Yeah, the Holy Trinity. Really.
Yeah, for me it was Dragon Ball. So I'm not really.
Did either of you guys watch Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, any of those?
No, I haven't.
Nope.
I can't say that it's that good. If I'm honest, I can't say that it's that good.
It was nostalgic when I was a kid.
It slaps. I love it. But there are literal entire episodes of people charging up their power levels. Like the memes come from somewhere. So I'm not going to say that you need to watch it, but I said, Cage, we're not taking away your weeb card.
No, but I always didn't want to watch Naruto because it was like thousands of episodes or something like this, or hundreds. But if it's all like cut down, then I should give it a
they
watch.
highlight the episodes that are filler. So you can just skip
I thought that I was too late to the party, but that sounds good.
Gentlemen, final question. You guys are rounding out the first half of the split. How is the team? Let's the general update. Is this like is the top of the table as clear as it looks to me? Because right now it looks very similar to what it did last season, where we got the G2s, the Fnatic, Rogue, you guys, Schalke. Am I forgetting anybody, Cadril? Excel is technically there right now.
Yeah, Excel's kind of up there.
I wouldn't keep Excel there personally. We'll see.
Oh, they're doing well.
They're doing well. So does it feel very similar to what we saw at the end of last season with these like top 5, top 6 teams? What feels different about this season to you guys?
Vitality is low, but they actually were always low. So I'm not sure. We are kind of inconsistent. That feels different.
Yeah.
Because usually we just lose to the top teams.
That's true. You guys have definitely sprinkled in some questionable losses. I was
blame it on draft diff.
Blame it on the draft diff.
Yeah. The Tristana matchup was questionable draft pick for sure. I couldn't help but notice that you played Seraphine the next day. That's weird how that champion has no dashes. Who would have thought?
It's crazy that you guys like beat Fnatic and then the weekend afterwards you guys lost to SK with this draft and stuff like this. So have to blame draft diff.
Yeah, have to blame. It's entirely draft diff. I'm sorry that your mac and cheese coaching duo is just letting you guys down. You can tweet at Mac if Mad Lions fans have an issue. Overall though, thank you guys for coming on. Good to hear your development as a duo. Always fun to find more anime fans, and definitely still my favorite part of this entire section is the fact that Carzzy, but he needs to find a good duo bot on his screen. You guys can work that one out in whatever team meeting you have coming up. But good luck to you guys in your week 4 matchups. It's going to be Rogue and Schalke, no fear, this week. So it's an absolute banger of a week. Me and Cage, I think, are going to get a cast your Schalke game. So nothing but the best of luck in those matchups. And we'll see you guys this weekend.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks again to Carzzy and Kaiser for coming on. That was
really funny.
The beginning was still the best part. My God, we just got so betrayed.
Love her duo bot.
Oh my God. Next up, we need to talk about week 4. Week 4 is, of course, the last week in the first round robin. From week 5 onward, it will be the second round robin. So big opportunities for teams to turn things around, set the story straight, rise up, be number 1 at the end of the season. We got mid-split MVP we could talk about next week. There's so much stuff. But for us, we have to celebrate. Let's call it a celebration.
Let's call it a celebration.
Celebrate in style. Now, the spicy bet last time was a little spicy. People liked it, but we need more spice. We need more challenge. We need more misery.
More misery.
I want to cry. And rather than I want to cry, I want Cadril to cry. I want there to be suffering. And so, with that in mind, we've created a mad bet, which in this case refers to mutually assured destruction.
I like that.
What's going to happen?
Mutually assured destruction.
It's a thing. Yeah. It's usually reserved for, I think, nuclear warfare, but in this case, spicy bets also.
Mid-split spicy bets.
All right. So how this is going to work is Cadril and I are going to predict all 10 games this coming week. Mm-hmm. But the deal is, we're going to take turns picking which games we predict. And for example, for Rogue versus G2, if Caedrel predicts Rogue, I have to take G2. Now, that doesn't seem so bad. But when you look at things like, what was the example that you gave, Caedrel? Was it Astralis?
Schalke, Astralis.
Schalke, Astralis. If I predict Schalke, Caedrel has to predict Astralis.
Yeah.
And so what's going to happen is that next week, when it comes time for us to summarize what happened in week 4, to regale you with all the information, we're going to do what we did last time. But for every game you predict wrong, you have to eat the we're going to do hot wings this time. Proper spicy, proper burning. You have to summarize the game that you predicted wrong.
Yep.
So there are 10 guaranteed hot wings
Yep.
that will be eaten next week. 10 guaranteed, very quick summaries.
So both of us will suffer. Hopefully.
Unless someone gets 10
Unless someone gets 10
Unless someone gets 10
That's not going to happen, right? You can just cut it when it happens.
we're gonna find out. And so how it's going to work is we're going to draft games. We're going to draft predictions. If you want to follow along, I highly recommend opening up like a Leaguepedia window and seeing what's left and available. I'll do my best to keep you guys updated, but
We're doing this in order, right? In order of the games.
no, you can draft whatever you want.
You can
first.
just pick and choose?
You can pick and choose. That's
From-
what a draft is.
Oh, I see. So
You have just, but when you say what game you want, make sure you say day 2.
okay.
Blah,
Okay,
blah,
that
blah
makes it a
versus
lot
blah,
more
blah,
fair.
blah.
I thought we were just doing it in chronological order.
No,
choose.
no,
Okay.
no.
I thought I was screwed. All right, I'm not so screwed anymore.
Okay. So how we decided who goes first is whose half of the duo queue got more questions right. And luckily for me, Carzzy was really good at answering questions and
you go
wrote
first.
really troll ass answers. So
He trolled me.
yeah, but
And
he
Kaiser.
carried me. All right. So I get to go first. And I think that the most one-sided game. Oh,
Oh, it's hard. Because okay. Go first, yeah.
is it Fnatic SK? Is it Schalke Astralis? Is there another game that's like Fnatic XL? No, that one could be close. G2 Rogues. Oh man, those are all pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna take Schalke Astralis,
Ooh.
and I'm gonna predict Schalke.
I think you missed a freebie there, Dracos. I think you missed it completely.
Oh no. Okay, well you're getting Astralis here on this one. All right, it's your turn to pick, Cater. What do you
Okay,
got?
day 1, sorry.
Day 1.
Misfits G2. I'm going G2. I think you missed a freebie
Do
there.
you think that's more of a freebie?
Yeah. Misfits have been griefing, and G2 probably fixed their internet, so
All right.
hopefully it's a freebie for me. Your turn.
I think I take Fnatic. Ah, no, it's so bad. It's so bad. Yeah, I take Fnatic and Fnatic versus SK.
Okay. God damn it. That's what I wanted. God damn it. I really wanted
Which
that
means,
one.
of course, if you're following along, Caedrel then has to predict SK. So Caedrel's predicting SK this
Okay.
week. We'll see if we can get a graphic together to summarize this that we'll put out either on Twitter or on socials so that it's a little easier to follow.
This is difficult, man. I'm going to go XL day 1 versus Vitality. Don't let me down, boys.
You're going to take Excel?
I'm taking XL. Don't let me down, please, man.
Okay, Vitality. I've been skeptical, but this is a chance. You make me a believer in like one
No,
game or
don't
less.
do it. Grief it.
One game. Okay. I'm going to take
Okay.
Misfits versus Astralis.
Oh, you're really doubting.
I'm taking Misfits.
You're really doubting Astralis. Okay, I'm going to do... Oh my god, man. I'm going to do Rogue versus Mad. I'm taking Rogue. That's a risky one.
That's a bit of a game.
But we're
my
almost
dude.
past the halfway point, so they're getting a bit...
We're running out. Okay, so yeah, we've now predicted 6. We're finished day 1. We have one game on day 2. So remaining for Vitality, SK, Schalke, Mad, Fnatic XL, and G2 Rogue. I'm gonna take. Oh no, because you're gonna take the other one. Whatever I take, you're
Yeah.
gonna take. If I take Fnatic XL, you're gonna take Vitality, SK. And the question is, who do I?
Have some faith, Dracos.
You know what? You love Excel so much. Here, I'll do you a favor. I'll take Fnatic,
You little... Oh my god.
and you can have Excel.
All right, okay. Guys, I have double XL. You have to go 2-0 this week.
If you go 2-0, Caedrel's
Guys,
just living in euphoria.
Kieran,
True euphoria.
Patrick, you listening to me? Patrick, come on. You got to save me here. Okay, I'll obviously take Vitality SK because I think the other two are very hard
And
to
you're
predict.
taking SK?
I'm going to take...
What?
I'm going to take Vitality.
Oh, that's the first time it hasn't been left side, right side for me.
Yeah, I'm going to take Vitality in that game, actually.
Wow. Talk about keeping the face. Well, you don't even have 2 SKs this week. Wow. All right, we're coin flip on those guys. Oh, G2 versus Rogue or Schalke versus Mad.
Oh, it's so tough, man.
These are so hard. Just on an actual prediction level, so incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
I don't know what to respond with. How much time? Okay, we have some time for the segment, so I can actually think about it. That's good. We can talk about it.
No, don't think about it. Just grief it somewhere fast.
Okay, fine. I'll keep it fast, but then we have to talk about both these games because these are the games we're talking about. Schalke, Mad, G2 Rogue.
Okay.
Actually, Mad Rogue. There's
No,
so
we
many
can take our
bangers.
we can take our time because I guess I'm choosing one anyway. So
you know what?
what? Do you believe in Code Gilius? Do you believe in the Duo Q love bot?
I believe in the Duo Q love
G2's
bot.
internet?
I'm taking Mad. I'm taking Mad. You can have Schalke.
Oh, you're believing in the Duo Q bot?
You know what? I think Carzzy got all the int out.
Okay,
he flipped it. He got one game of doing nothing. He got one game of inting.
I'm gonna have to go visit Gold Gilius' shrine.
Yeah,
I need that one to be a dub. So I guess I'm stuck with G2 Rogue, which I think is the hardest match to predict of the whole weekend.
it is also our match of
It's
the
also
week.
the and we're
Wink,
casting
wink.
it.
And we're casting
Me and
it.
you, baby.
That's right, baby. Let's do it. We got a lot of bangers. I'm liking this.
Yeah. Okay, G2 Rogue. I'm gonna predict Rogue.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't know if that's good or like honestly, it's such a flip. It's so 50-50 to me.
I am
And this
believing
is-
in the draft gods, and they have woken up G2 Rogue on that day, and they have blessed him with some great drafts. And I hope G2 have been unblessed by the great drafts.
I hope that as long as their internet is good, because I will be very sad if I lose a hot
Yeah, I'm
win
sure
to
their
packet
internet will be
loss.
fine after that
Yeah.
tragedy.
Or though
of
I think
the
that they were
weekend
playing
last
from
week.
what I saw on cams. I think they were playing in their office week 2 as opposed to playing in their gaming house / they're like the proper G2. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're playing somewhere different, so maybe they can go back to. They've got options.
I'm sure they'll be fine.
There's a lot of G2 peeps in the city. Hopefully G2 can just find whatever one actually works.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's recap. And again, if you're listening to this and this is confusing, the graphic will hopefully help because this is a lot of just text. Schalke versus Astralis. Caedrel's predicting Astralis. I'm predicting Schalke. Vitality versus XL. I'm predicting Vitality. Caedrel's picking XL. Misfits versus G2. I'm predicting Misfits. Caedrel's predicting G2.
Ooh. We got the
Mad-
early game, I think.
Yeah. Mad versus Rogue. I'm getting Mad. Caedrel's getting Rogue.
We got the early game.
Oh, yeah. Fnatic versus SK. I'm getting Fnatic. Caedrel's getting SK. Vitality versus SK. Caedrel's getting Vitality. I'm getting SK this time around. Misfits versus Astralis. I'm getting Misfits. Caedrel's getting Astralis.
Double Astralis? You gotta do me like that?
Bro,
You non-believer?
yeah, MagiFelix, baby. Let's go. Schalke No Fear versus Mad. Caedrel is in the Church of God Gilius, and I'm in the Lovers Duo section over here with Mad Land.
Is that Valentine's Day? No, Sunday's Valentine's Day.
Sunday
That would be
is
that'll be
Valentine's.
crazy if the Lovers Duo won on Valentine's Day.
That would be a special
It's
day.
the Valentine's buff.
Yeah, we'll see. Help, if they win. Help, Kaiser wanted to find love. People, hit him up. Let him know.
Dracos is just dressed up as Cupid.
Slide in, folks. If those DMs
It's
are
a good
open.
meme. Dracos dressed up as Cupid and just like a DM. Fire.
I actually have no idea if Kaiser actually wants that, though. So maybe I'm just dooming him to random messages from weirdos. We'll find out. Let me know. Sorry in advance, Kaiser. Fnatic versus XL. I've got Fnatic. Caedrel has XL.
Let's
a
go.
true XL believer. He
That's
has
me.
to do it. I didn't force him into it. He wanted it, really. He really wanted to predict XL.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe in you guys.
Thank you.
Don't let me down.
G2 versus Rogue. I've got G2. Caedrel's got Rogue. Caedrel, we've got...
I think it's pretty close.
It's really... I don't know who's going to suffer more, but I think G2 versus Rogue, good drafting. Let's talk a little about Schalke versus Mad, though. Not our game of the week. Still going to get some highlight, but there's a lot. This week is crazy. Between Mad Rogue, Schalke Mad, and G2 Rogue, we have some crazy
I feel like
games this week.
Schalke, I think G2 Rogue is like the match of the match of the match, the whole
Yeah.
split. And
Oh,
we
yeah.
have like Schalke Mad is like the undercard,
Yep.
It's just beneath it. Like it's just a skill level.
But come on. If you've watched any fights at all, the undercard is like half the time the better fight than the actual main event.
Okay, but it could be, because this could be a complete like bloodbath. I think both these matches, you have like Schalke Mad, who are the skill gap between the two is very, very small. And G2 Rogue is similar, but I think that there's just differences in playstyle, right? G2 super aggressive, Rogue a lot more controlled, guys. We're gonna herd the sheep, make sure you guys stop fighting too much. And then Schalke Mad, it's like, I don't know. It's just like the magic of Schalke versus the lovers of Mad. So there's a lot of cool things behind these matches.
Okay, we just like the magic of Schalke with the lovers. We're like, what do we label Mad with? Like they were here 30 minutes ago being on a show, and that's what they are now. They're the lovers.
Yeah, they're the lovers.
They're the lovers. All right. Love versus gods.
Love versus magic.
What comes out on top? It's a Romeo and
I don't know.
Juliet story for the ages, except they're like, gods.
That should be the intro to the game.
That's what
lovers versus gods.
Lovers versus gods.
Does love truly win? Or does the gods
Can love
just...
truly conquer all?
That's a good question. And then G2 Rogue is Titans versus demigods.
I don't know, man. This is some like... Did you ever watch like, what is it, Ultimate Warrior or whatever, where they just like fight random people from across the ages against each other? That's what this feels like.
I've seen clips of that, I think.
It's a really awful show. It's just all pseudoscience. It's really bad.
I just wonder how strong Europe is right now.
That's a fair question. And you know what, Caedrel? I think since we're out of time here for this episode, and this is going to do it for season 7, episode 4 of Euphoria, I think if they wanted to check you out at twitch.tv/Caedrel, I think that they might have an opportunity to ask you those questions about the overall strength in Europe if they're not patient enough to wait till the next time we talk about it on Euphoria. So that's my...
Thanks for the shout out, man.
Bro, I'm here for you. I got you.
And you don't stream that much, do you?
No, I don't really stream. I can't.
But you post bangers on Twitter.
I do post banging memes. Regardless, check us out on Twitter, Instagram. Check out Caedrel's team, twitch.tv/Caedrel. Otherwise, we will see you at Friday and on Saturday, the same place as always, twitch.tv/LEC, for what is going to be the most banging game of weeks.
And banging weekend, and the next week you see us like suffer.
Yeah.
So it's a banger, never-ending banger.
Even if you're like, I don't really care about this Chocolate Astralis game, there's a hot wing on the line, people.
Hot wings.
Hot wings on the line.
The whole weekend.
When we say every game counts, that's not some bad broadcast meme about how it's best of one, so every game does count. No, people are going to suffer for these games.
We're going to die.
All right, that's it. It's episode 4. There's hot wings coming. There's games coming. We hope you liked it, and we'll see you guys next week.
Peace out.